Welcome to Patanjali Yoga Meditation. Today we want to continue with our new list of benefits, number 81 to 90. But as is customary, I quickly read through the previous list. The previous list, 71 to 80, was so that we are familiar with the context. What we 2 weeks ago we discussed was recognizing strengths and weaknesses of self and that of others. Inferiority complex may diminish, no need to unnecessarily exhibit strengths, less likely to fall in depression, ability to introspect, staying away from justifying past mistakes and wrongs, unburdening from any past mistake, failure, guilt, etc., not bothered by unfulfilled desires, living in the present, enjoying the present moment, looking forward to the future in a positive spirit. So today we continue. Number 81 says, so here we are in an intermediate stage of practitioner who is very comfortable in the idea that I and my mind are two different entities, self and mind, and there is some kind of a separation, and is now able to see that certain transformation taking place in his mind, and he is quite aware of that. Overall, 81 says, overall better quality of life now, because you are not identifying yourself with the state of your mind. You are an independent entity, so you have a basic understanding that life is not only what my mind is telling me. No unnecessary judgment of others. Now, as we have seen, as the practitioner has noticed his own mind, its strength and weaknesses, etc., now he has a feeling that so is true with others also. So, others are also carrying a body and mind domain, and just like body is not perfect, mind is not perfect. So that sort of recognition is there. Number 83 says recognition that others are prone to mental defects, minor and major. Just like we are aware that nobody's physical body health is perfect, something may be defective somewhere, even though we may not be aware of it. In the same manner, everybody has certain defects in our mind, major or minor, and some we are aware of, sometimes we are not aware of, but whatever it is, usually we get to see the defects of others easily than that of ours, and we are tempted to kind of make judgments and many other things. So that sort of a thing should diminish now. 84 says empathy toward others. It's all, we are all the same. Everybody's in the same boat. So that's what human life is. Then 85 says you become slightly more sensitive to others now. How, what I do, what I speak, it affects others. So we want to be slightly more sensitive and careful. And first sign is when you become sensitive to others, you begin to abstain from consumption of meat, fish, and egg, etc. There is no point in, causing pain and suffering to other species for our food when we have all other kind of options available, alternatives are available. 87 says accepting others as they are. So we That's what genuine love is. Love is to accept a person as a person. You love a person and not his characteristics also. So accepting others as they are, and what you consider a person's personality, that is all the content of his mind. So the person and his mind and the content of his mind are different things. Number 88 says, staying away from bias and prejudice related to others. 89, staying away from knowing too much unnecessary information about others. We don't want to intrude into others' privacy. So there is no such, feeling, no such interest now. Number 90 says, accepting others on a mental wheelchair for those with significant defects in mind. In kind of a close relationships, like my spouse, my children, or so on and so forth, where we are we are to live a long life journey with that person. And suppose there is a significant defect in mind, that person has some sort of a, you know, personality or even disorder, whatever you call it. But now we are mature enough, we try to rationalize it. Suppose that person was physically on a wheelchair, then still we would somehow carry on with the life. Now, this is not a physical defect, this is a defect in mind, and somehow I try to rationalize it. I can carry on my life with that person as if he is on a or she is on a mental wheelchair. So, we cannot change others, and we have to learn to accept certain parameters of our life, and somehow learn how to pull along in the given circumstances. So, when we are, the self and mind are two different entities, and we understand the intricacies of what goes on in mind, our own mind and in others' mind, then it slightly broadens our understanding, and we are able to compromise and live properly without getting into unnecessary faults.